Maybe you haven't realized it yet, but the very thing that makes you work, that pushes you into debt, that quietly directs your decisions, is money. Yet money itself is nothing more than a worthless piece of paper, a metal coin in your pocket, a line of digits on a glowing screen. It's just the surface of something that doesn't truly exist. And still, it is the force that raises empires, destroys kingdoms, and shapes entire societies. So how did this seemingly worthless construct become the center of the world? Today, we pull back the curtain. Are you ready? Because the answer will flip everything you thought you knew on its head. Money is, in truth, a contract held together by humanity's collective imagination. And at the core of this entire system lies a single word: trust. For something to be considered money, we must be able to trade with it, measure value through it, and carry today's labor into the future with it. Money works only as long as trust exists. Once trust disappears, that paper in your hand becomes nothing more than paper. Anyone who fails to see this believes they understand money, but in reality, they're only scraping the surface. Humanity didn't discover the idea of money in a single moment. We began with barter. One person had wheat, the other had a goat. But there was one major problem holding the entire system back. Both sides had to need exactly what the other had. This is known as the double coincidence of wants, and it placed strict limits on economic progress. So people turned to different objects, shells at first, then small pieces of precious metal, and eventually gold. Gold was nearly the perfect form of money, durable, difficult to find, resistant to decay. But even gold couldn't keep up with expanding economies. If a city's trade grew faster than the supply of gold, economic growth would stall. This is why institutions began storing gold in vaults and issuing pieces of paper representing it. That was the birth of the banknote. Today, most banknotes are backed by nothing. The modern world operates on what we simply call money. It has value because the state declares it the official medium, and because society accepts that declaration. The truth always returns to the same point: collective trust. Money works because we accept it, because we act within its system every single day. But here comes the shocking part: most of today's money isn't physical at all. It's digital. And it doesn't belong solely to governments. Banks play a massive role in creating it. When a bank gives you a loan, it's not handing you someone else's savings. Banks create new money the moment they issue credit. They enter a new number into their ledger, and that number instantly becomes real money circulating in the economy. When you repay that debt, the money is essentially erased. This is why modern economies operate largely on debt-based money. For money to exist, the system requires a constant cycle of borrowing. People often ask, why are countries always in debt? The harsh truth is this: because the monetary system is designed that way. New money requires new debt. If no one borrows, money doesn't expand, and the economy shrinks. Those who don't understand this usually jump to shallow claims like, the government is printing too much money, revealing that they don't grasp how the system actually works. This is also why we must see inflation clearly. Inflation is not simply rising prices, it's the erosion of money's value. Prices are merely the symptom. If money grows too quickly, purchasing power falls. And even when the money supply stays steady, inflation can still rise due to factors like energy costs, supply chain disruptions, geopolitical risks, expectations, and social psychology. Reducing inflation to just printing money is far too simplistic. So what do central banks really do? Contrary to popular belief, they don't simply print money. They control the speed and the cost of money in the economy. When interest rates rise, the economy slows, spending drops. When interest rates fall, money flows faster, trade expands, borrowing increases. But central banks don't truly control the economy, they attempt to influence its behavior. Money is as psychological as it is technical, which is why policy doesn't always produce predictable results. And why is money so powerful? Because it is the tool that organizes human behavior. You hesitate to trade with someone you don't trust, but money gives you that trust instantly. It represents society's belief in the future. It acts as a universal language between nations. A worthless piece of paper can direct billions of lives. Yet money is also fragile. Without trust, the entire system collapses. In the end, the real question becomes, how does money actually work? The true answer is simple: money is a system built by people. And it flows wherever humans choose to place their value. Money is not just economics, it is a mirror of society itself. To understand money is to understand human nature. The banknote in your pocket has no intrinsic value, but the moment you believe in it, the system comes alive again. But there is much more than you might think. Money is not just a tool for trade, it is a mirror of society. It reflects people's hopes, fears, desires, and insecurities. It may be just a piece of paper or a digital number, but as long as people assign value to it, it becomes a real force. And power always comes with responsibility. Understanding how money is created, how it circulates, and under what conditions it loses value doesn't just explain the workings of the economic system. It also reveals human nature, the importance of social trust, and the strength of collective belief. Consider this. If trust within a society is broken, no matter how official money is, it becomes useless. Yet when people believe in it again, the system comes alive. That is why money is not merely numbers and paper, it is an invisible hand guiding our lives, as long as we believe in it. In the end, money reminds us of this. When people come together, their faith and trust determine what they can achieve, or lose. And that is why understanding money is not just about learning economics, it is about understanding what it means to be human.